Well, good morning. And man, I got here and I don't know if you guys can see, but if you look at the skies back that way, it's dark. Well, I didn't go fishing yesterday because of the threat of rain, and the rest of the week is the threat of rain is even worse. But I am going to go that direction. The storms are actually coming off the Gulf, and the one I saw looked like it'd take a while before it got here. I say that, but normally when I get in my boat, I have to step down from the dock to get in there. Today I have to step up, and that tells me that there's probably a lot of fresh water here, but the water color is still good, but it'll be pretty fresh. So I'm gonna head towards the bay. I'm kind of waiting for the sun to come up a little bit more. I got my boat lights in my truck, but I didn't want to put them on because they basically get in the way, and typically wait till the sun comes up a little bit to where I can see safely and navigate my path. But we're going out and give it a shot. We'll bring you guys in when we start catching some fish. We'll see you here in a little bit. GoPro, stop recording. We were heading out over there, but it was raining, and now the rain passed there. I came back in, so we're just going to try it here. Maybe we'll get a snook because they chased out from the back there. Moved out here to saltier water. I don't know. Snook and redfish can handle the fresher water too, but not as well. You just don't find them in the reds and snook. You can find the reds and the snook in completely freshwater conditions, actually. There's an old hunting lodge up here that has a green light on, and I saw the trout acting, but it's tempting to stop. But seeing how they are, an outfitter decided not to infringe on their lighted area. Oh wow, I forgot about that part. Man, I better not get a big fish. I should have brought my other glasses, I guess.
All right. Yeah, when I casted that lure, my brain went all the way down to school, and I got hung up on a branch the last trip, and on the 1000 reel, the spool's pretty small, didn't hold much line. So one big red would pop that thing right off. So I'm changing over. This rod actually has a Paul Brown on it. I've had a lot of success with them. I don't really use them in the river very much, though.
Water's quite high. And there's a lot of debris in the water. Ooh, I heard something. No bait jumping in the water either. God, horrible sign. Uh, What's that bird there? All right, I'm gonna chill out on the Paul Brown. I'm not sure if it's the lure or the day. All right. All right. All right. I switched back to a soft plastic. This mullet looking thing here. And I had somebody tell me that when you fish a brackish water, the salt water is deeper. So I've got a heavier head on this soft plastic. Help me get down there deeper. Paul Brown, it likes to run about 6 inches underwater. And I guess for a day like today, that's just not the right lure to be using. I see very little bait acting up or on top, so they might be deeper too. Although this morning it was looking pretty bad. Right now, looks pretty good. A little cooler this morning. And by that, I mean, I'm not drenched in sweat yet. There's a mullet. Wow. Ooh, oh no. I might have had something there. You know, when I first came down here, I shouldn't say when I first came down here. When we decided to live down here, I would say probably around 2006. Yeah, it was 2009 when we actually bought a little place. But I don't think I have anything. Yeah, it was just debris, I think. 2009, and they had these plants in the middle of the road that had these yellow flowers on them. And at the time, we were talking to some people about how the weather is down here, and they said you might get 1 week of cold weather, and that's about it. Well, we had one of these super duper freezes, got down into the low 20s and killed all those bushes. And since then, we've had, a freeze every year just about. And not like the bushes in our front yard. They were thriving pretty good, but since 2020, we've always had something come around in February or something like that, and we had like a week of below freezing temperatures. So the bushes in our house, they come back from the roots up, and about the time they get going good again, here comes another cold blast of air. I guess what I'm driving at here is that it's been quite cool here the last 5-6 years. The tropical plants that were thriving, as a matter of fact, all those bushes were never replaced, and there's just nothing but holes in the concrete to plant bushes, and none have been replanted. This is in Harlingen, along 409, where I'm talking about. And that brings up another topic that when we first came down here, you go fishing, and I was a treble hook cork kind of guy, and I'd either throw the cast net or use shrimp, preferably live shrimp, but I'd use dead. But when we would fish, we'd always catch, like 6 crabs, and it was a nice add-on, nice addition to a couple of fish. And as time went on, the crabbing got pretty thick in here. I mean, so thick that in January I was going to go start crabbing. I got 2 crab pots for Christmas, and I took them out here one time, and there was no place to put them because the commercial crabber had his every 200 feet. You got to have them spaced 200 feet apart. Even if it's someone else's, you can't put it right beside it. You have to stay that 200 feet away. And there was no place to put it. There was no place to put them. Or I could have tied it to a boat dock. And I think that's what I ended up doing. But then I never took them back out again. But the last 3 trips, I haven't seen any crab traps. That either means there's no crabs back here right now, and that's not uncommon for this time of year because it gets so hot. The crabs migrate out to the Gulf, or these guys had to cut back. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping they had to cut back. I was going to bring them out today, but with the rain looking like it is and forecasted, I didn't want to throw them out here. And I kind of need to leave them out here overnight, maybe for a couple of days. And I didn't want to do that because of the rain problem. We got rain today, we got rain tomorrow, we got rain the next day. So I didn't want them to get washed away in a flood again, or I didn't, wanted to get them washed away if it floods again. Same thing with the cameras. I'm going to go to a different configuration. The camera on my head is really uncomfortable, and I got a thing that mounts around my neck, keeps the kind of like a chest mount, but it's just high up on the chest. But I'm worried I'm going to be, seeing too much of the rod and not enough of the fishing area. And the other camera I want to bring in, the 360, because that'll catch the entire boat. But they do have overheating issues, at least the 360 I got does, but it shuts down and I can wear my Bluetooth controller on my wrist, and when it cools down I can just push the button and start it back up again. And I'd probably just run it, just like I run the GoPros, only when a fish comes in. And another thing, since it is a 360 camera, it doesn't have a time code. And you can sync up a camera with audio if you got audio with the video. But it takes a long time for the computer to do that. Sometimes I can just look at the audio and kind of see where it needs to go by matching the wave sign. And I'll put it there and then kind of look at the video and fine tune it. But the 360 will also bring in the problem of trying to resync it with the other cameras. But since it's only going to be catching fish action, that it might not be that big of a deal. Yeah, a lot of plastic bottles in the water here. Which means fresh water is pouring in here. The wind down here can be quite ferocious. As a matter of fact, you have to get used to it. When I first came down here, it used to irritate me. But, oops, something, I bet you that was a gar. And that's another thing about that camera, if it's around my neck. See, I turned around, I had the camera right on the gar, but with my body still facing, I'd have to learn to turn my body and not just the head. It's hard to try all that stuff out. You get a system that works, you kind of don't want to change it, but there's always room for improvement. You're just not sure if what you're going to do is improve. But the only way to find out is do it. I'm kind of cruising a little fast, but I'm going to 3.5 miles an hour instead of 2.5 miles an hour. I think that's because of the current though. Although I do notice it, it's hard for me to get that lure in before I've already passed it up. This is where I saw those speckled trout messing around. I said I should stop there, but I didn't. But as the way the days turned out, I should have. That home there is on a island, and they are outfitters here. Dos Rios Rod and Gun Club. They rent that lot, or they own that lot, and they use these boats here to get the people across. I heard something in there. It's almost, should I pull out my other camera and take pictures of the birds or what? God dang. I mean, zero action on the fish. Zero. I started out worrying about not having enough braid on and I'd get spooled by a red, but looks like I could have used that. There ain't nothing, man. Nothing. You know, that area right there used to be a real good spot. And then they started to develop this and they took down those trees. And it looks like they're growing back, the trees are, and the development never happened. Dang, man. I'm gonna try along this bank here. So let me slow it down a bit. Man, the water looks good as far as clarity goes. Even though we've had a lot of water come in, it hasn't muddied up. Let me slow it down a little bit more. Someone told me that this is a mullet gut along here. But I never see anybody fish it. Never. But I do see mullet moving around. And I hadn't been seeing that at all. And the lure I'm using looks like a big old mullet. And there's three other places along this river that I'm aware of that have this other channel coming in. And all four of those spots, you fish where the edges, where it comes in and meets up the main river. It's usually pretty good. Oh, rain. Dang. Oh, man. Rain. I must be right. Ooh, I had a bite there. I did have a bite. My first bite of the day. And I'm sitting there trying to decide if I should cover my bag up. This is a place where pontoon boats go to die. God dang, man. Again, there's a reason why I don't like wearing the camera on my head, because I've had it come off my head and fall right in the water. Damn. I I gotta do something with this damn camera. I can't let them stay like that. Yeah. I can't let it stay like that. God. Yeah, well, okay, it's there. I don't know how good that is. It actually has most of the gear covered. Yeah. What does the weather look like right now? Yeah. I'm on the tail end of something. That's me, I think. This is me. Yeah, it's 8:30. Yeah, that's me right there. All right. It doesn't say I should run. Doesn't say I should run, but dang. Doesn't say I should run. Ooh. Ooh, what the hell is that? It was big. Probably a gar, though. Yeah, I just saw another gar. Uh-oh. Looks like we're going to get some rain there. Ooh, did I get one? Oh, I think I had a bite, though. Ooh, ooh. Oh, man, I thought I had a bite there. Man, I'm right on the edge of the storm. Right on the edge. Feel the old wind blowing and everything. Jeez. I did definitely get one bite over there. Oh, man. Another gar. What time is it? Almost 9. Wow. Big old gar there. But not the biggest. Got it. Ooh, I thought I had him. Damn it. Ugh. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I got these ideas of leaving, and then I see fish moving and get a bite. So the leaving part goes away. I do have a chance to get out of here without getting soaking wet. Be nice to pick up a good bread. Whew. Get one. At least I can have a video. Damn, I don't catch any fish. I can't have a video. There. Thought I might have had one. I think this lure's too big to catch any of those smaller trout. And I don't even think they're biting today anyway. But there's rainbow. I wonder if they show up on camera. Man, it does look nice out here. Oh, crap. Anchor lock. Yeah, I don't see any use in staying out here. Nope, not at all. I don't see any use of taking the fucking... God, no. I can't really... What's the deal there, man? That's pretty tough. All right. Ooh, ooh. GoPro, start recording. Well, no fish. It's been raining on and off. It's been actually a nice day out here. The rain kind of kept it cool. But I've got a chance to get out of here without getting soaking wet. And I think since I haven't caught any fish and it's already about 9:10, I like to leave about 9:30 usually, but I never do.